But Henry puffed too quickly. "Go gently," called his driver. "You can bump freight, but you can't bump passengers." "Sorry," puffed Henry. Henry puffed proudly through the countryside. "Pulling passengers is a grand job," he said. Gordon was in the repair yard. He was being fitted with a new boiler. But Gordon felt lonely. He was missing his passengers. The passengers were missing Gordon too. They were having the bounciest, bumpiest ride they had ever had. When Henry got back to the sheds, the Fat Controller was waiting for him. "There have been complaints," he said sternly. "Passengers are not like logs. You must be gentle." "Yes, sir," said Henry sadly. Being gentle was very difficult. Then Henry saw Gordon. He was looking miserable. "My wishes made Gordon go to the repair yard," gasped Henry. This made Henry feel very bad. The next day, Henry had to collect the buffet car. He tried his best to be gentle, but he shunted the buffet car so hard everything flew into the air. There were more complaints than ever. Henry didn't want to pull passengers anymore. He wanted to wish everything back to normal. But when he arrived at the forest, Henry couldn't remember which tree was the wishing tree. "Oh, no," cried Henry. "Which one could it be?" Henry didn't know. So he decided to wish on all the trees. "I wish I could pull freight again," he puffed. Then he moved to the next tree and he wished again. "I wish I could pull freight again." The Fat Controller arrived on board Thomas. "What are you doing, Henry?" asked the Fat Controller. "You are causing confusion and delay." Henry told him all about the wishing tree. "Wishing trees don't run railways," said the Fat Controller. "That's my job. Gordon just needed some repairs. He'll be back tomorrow." Henry was delighted. The next day, Gordon came back to work. He looked as good as new. The passengers were so pleased to see him, they cheered and cheered and cheered. Gordon beamed happily for the rest of the day. Henry was happy to be back in the peace and quiet of the forest. At the end of the day, he stopped near the wishing tree. And even though the Fat Controller had told him trees don't run railways, Henry wished he would never have to pull passengers ever again. Just in case. Every engine on the island of Sodor looks different. Can you tell who this is? This engine is dark green. What else can we see on this engine? It's only got a small roof on the cab, but it's got a very tall funnel. Do you know who it is yet? Here's another clue. This engine's got very big wheels. There's only one engine on Sodor who has wheels like that. Do you know who it is? Yes, it's Emily. Hello, Emily. It was a beautiful morning on the island of Sodor, and it was Lady Hat's birthday. She was having a special party. There were cakes and balloons and even a merry-go-round. But the most exciting of all was the brass band. It was coming from the mainland to play at the party. The Fat Controller came to Tidmouth Sheds. "Thomas, you are to collect the brass band." "Thank you, sir," said Thomas. James and Gordon were upset. They wanted to collect the brass band themselves. Thomas puffed happily across the island. And into Knapford Station. The brass band climbed aboard Thomas and he raced away. But Thomas was so excited he pulled away too soon. The tuba player was left behind. Thomas steamed off to Maithwaite Station. And the brass band assembled on the platform. Suddenly, the band leader cried out. "Where is the tuba player?" he wailed. "We cannot play without him." No one knew where the tuba player was. "I'm sorry, sir," gasped Thomas. "I must have left him behind." Thomas raced back to Knapford Station, but the tuba player wasn't at Knapford Station. He was waiting for Bertie, the bus. Bertie pulled up beside the tuba player. "Can you take me to the party?" he asked. "I'll take you as far as I can," said Bertie. Thomas arrived at Knapford Station and couldn't see the tuba player anywhere. "The tuba player is lost," moaned Thomas. "And it's all my fault." Thomas raced from station to station. Must find him, he puffed. Where could he be? Bertie had dropped the tuba player off. "Bye-bye," he called cheerfully. "Thank you," said the tuba player, and he waited for another ride. He didn't have to wait long. Elizabeth, the vintage lorry, pulled up.